So I've done 10 weeks of having absolutely no sugar, no meat, no alcohol, and no smoking. I feel amazing in general, but it's not about the physical side of things or the financial side of things. It's more about the actual mental side of things, really. So obviously what I'm trying to think is, what are mental thoughts really all about? What happens to your mental activity, and how are they related to your physical and financial activities, and are there any other things which affect your mental activity? So stay with me while I'm going to explore this a little bit further down the YouTube video.
Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Challange. This channel is specifically created just to share my life journey, and maybe if I can help anybody along the way, which obviously are, facing the problems with their physical health, financial, mental or spiritual health. So really, apart from this, I do run a successful vision called Made to Measure. So if you want to really go to madetomeasure.co.uk, you will see what we do. Essentially, we specialize in home improvements and fitted furniture. When I say home improvements, we do extensions, loft conversions, home refurbs, side extensions. When it comes to fitted furniture, we do like kitchens, fitted wardrobes, understay units, any kind of really fitted furniture within a house. So that's about that. Apart from this, I do run a small IT company which is run remotely. It's called itworld.london. What it does is it really helps customers to utilize their digital presence and maximize their sales. So we help customers in either, obviously, it depends what they're struggling with. It could be search engine optimization, or Google My Business listings, and obviously having their online presence and making sure they are converting the leads, and really helping them with the CRM, which could also be a very good tool for businesses who really need help. So that's about this, and stay tuned for the rest of the video. So obviously it's been 10 weeks. I've had any sugar, alcohol, meat or smoking as such. So now I haven't actually tested my body vitals. I should have, but then I'm assuming my weight is probably fluctuating between 79ish. I'm quite 100% actually sure that my blood sugar is absolutely fine. My blood pressure looks fine as well. But again, this is not a weight loss video. So obviously I haven't lost a lot of weight, but I'm not aiming to, because what I'm aiming at is developing the right habits. And obviously on a physical level, I've developed some really good habits of having no sugar, no meat on a daily basis, and not really having alcohol or any other stimulants like that. And on a financial level, of learning to develop some habits which will, over the period of time, get me out of debt, which is about 40 odd or more than that £1,000 in debt, and getting into a credit about at least 20 grand. So obviously that's the financial aim. And then going on to the mental, which is absolutely essential, I think. Mental is the most important health, I think, for everybody. And I absolutely feel that there's a huge issue of mental health, largely to do with the screens we all carry. And on an average, I think everybody's got a smartphone or a smart device, and more than one actually. And I think the average focus is definitely gone. And there are so many different issues with mental health, and I'm facing a lot of them as well. What am I going to do? So I'm on my 10th week. I started on 9th. So 9 to 12 is all about mental health. So what did I realize? I've realized that the brain just doesn't stop. And the key thing about mental health, what I've realized is the brain works on accumulation of experiences, very much like the body works on accumulation of food we eat. So obviously what we are is what we eat, essentially. Very much like if you keep a banana right here, it's not a part of me, and if you eat one, and then it's a part of you. So obviously the food we eat is accumulation, and that's what our physical health. And as the mental health is the accumulation of thoughts, experiences, sensations, things we see. It's a mixture of a lot of things. And what I've come to realize is our brain is a non-stop cassette which just plays all the time and just randomly throws thoughts at you all the time, and most of it are insensible. They don't really mean anything as such. If you actually sit down and notice your thoughts, you'll see that a thought probably doesn't stay more than 15 to 20 seconds and it disappears and replaced by another one. And sometimes what you're thinking is very much like a YouTube short video. The thoughts may not have a connection. They might just randomly come from different places and think about different things as such. So obviously this is something I'm absolutely aware of, so that's a good start. But the thing I need to be focusing on is really getting some positive habits in my life. Now, essential part would be trying a bit of meditation on a daily basis. It works and it does not work because I've tried sitting with myself, and what you do there is you're just basically sitting with your own thoughts, and it could just take ages for you to be absolutely be aware that of the present moment. So for me, meditation isn't helping, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop it, because the books and the podcasts and the information I have is obviously I'm just starting to scratch the surface of the problem. It's not going to disappear at once. So I'm going to carry on doing meditation, and I think it's absolutely important to be aware. The other thing which I've really developed is I'm wearing a little, it's not really a smartwatch, but an active watch. I think it's a Samsung Gear. I think Samsung Charge 2. It's an old smartwatch, and intentionally, because I don't want too much information. But the key thing about this, it's got a vibrating alarm. So I've put every 4 hours a vibrating alarm. So what it does is every 4 hours it will vibrate in my wrist, and then it will snooze after 9 minutes. So what I'm trying to do is every time it will vibrate, I'll try and stay in present and be thankful and just maybe focus on my breath and just try not to focus on my thoughts. And then once it vibrates out, which is 9 minutes, and then I'll go back to whatever I was doing. So again, I'm trying these things. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I'm looking forward to really understand what thoughts are really off and are they really essential, which I've come to realize they're not. Most of the thoughts are not important. They basically are endless cycle. You don't really have I'm not going to say you don't, but I think I don't have a control over my thoughts. I could just sit and the thoughts would just appear. And the funny part is sometimes we just act on those thoughts and sometimes we don't. An example of act is suddenly a picture of somebody comes into your mind whom you don't like, and all of a sudden you'll have bad emotions coming in your mind. That's just an example. So you're acting on that thought essentially. So what the key thing I want to learn is really get those thoughts in and out, but not really act on it. I don't know how much of that I'm going to accomplish, but I'm really hoping that I'd achieve something, because it doesn't really matter if I'm physically active and financially really well off. If I'm not mentally stable and happy, it just doesn't make sense. So there's 2 more weeks to go. By the way, there's a solitude on the week 13 I've booked. So I'm going to stay in a Buddhist temple for a week with absolutely nothing with me. I'm actually really scared because I haven't done such a thing at all. And to stay with your own self is very much like a prison. I'm going to stay with my own thoughts and have no other distraction. Forget about a phone, but no friends, nothing. And probably have a meal a day or something like that. So I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, that's all about the mental health, and I'll catch you in the next one.